So when you clean a condenser coil, first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you turn off your disconnect, whether that be a fuse disconnect like this one. Fuse just pulls right on out, or a lever style that you pull down. You're going to want to turn the power off because you do not want to clean while you have the unit running. I've done that in the past, and what that causes is everything to be sucked in. Your cleaner is going to get sucked in. This is going to create a vortex in there, and you're going to get a lot of bubbles. Bunch of bubbles coming out. So if you want a bubble party, you can go ahead and do that, but I don't recommend it because you could damage that motor as well. So you're going to want to shut that off, and then it's kind of like cleaning it just like you would clean your car. You start from the top down. You just get your cleaner, spray your cleaner on all sides of your coil. You're going to want to take this panel off here, clean on inside there. And one big thing that a lot of people miss is right over here on this corner, on this particular type of unit. You can see here it has these louvers. A lot of people, because this panel is usually not removable, because this is where the disconnect is usually mounted, and it's just not easily accessible, everybody misses this. The coil actually wraps around on the inside right here. This is the corner of the coil. So I always make sure you hit right up in there. Get up in there really good. And then that way you can hit it with the cleaner. You can rinse it off really well. And that way you're getting as much of the coil as you possibly can. Let's move on to doing it. All right, so this is your panel to access the other side of your condenser coil and your electrical section. A lot of times out in the field, especially over the years, you're gonna have missing screws. You can see here, we've got 1, 2, but we're missing a third. Now, that's not the biggest deal. A lot of times, you can just look around the unit and find the screw that's missing. For example, the screw that we're missing is literally right here on the ground. And that's probably why they left that screw out, because that hole is now stripped. So that screw is no longer holding in. The standard size is gonna be a 5/16, which is what everybody uses. So if you put a bigger screw in there, chances are it's gonna have a 3/8 head. Most techs aren't gonna have a 3/8 readily available because we use this type of switchable Malco bit. The yellow side is 5/16. The red is 1/4 inch, easy to switch, easy to use. So don't put a 3/8 one in there. What you could do instead, it's not the best thing in the world, but it is pretty much standard. You hold that panel down and you just sandwich it right there. Now that panel is secured with the 5/16 head screw. And now you don't need another bit. Now we are going to remove our panel so we can access the condenser coil and the electrical section. A lot of these units are gonna have a curb. They're gonna be sitting on a curb. So what I like to do is I just keep my screws right there, or you can put them on the top of the unit. So we've got our screws out. We can pull this off, pull that down. We can set this aside, and now we have access to our condenser coil, our electrical section, and now we can clean it properly. So now that we have the panel off and we can access the entire coil, all we're gonna do is wash it like we wash a car. We're gonna pre-soak the coil, get the entire coil nice and wet. We're gonna spray our coil cleaner on the entire surface of the coil, let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes, and then we're just gonna rinse it off thoroughly, and that's all it takes. So this is one of the reasons why I prefer to use a wand with a swivel head right here. It's because as you can see, the coil actually goes all the way up to the top, and it's very hard to get to with just a regular water hose. So I use the swivel, use your shower settings so you're not damaging the coil. And then that way you have the distance, you can stay nice, clean and dry, and make sure that you hit the entire coil. So we have just washed all the dirt, all the grime off of that condenser coil, and now it's sitting on the bottom of our unit here, all dirty. So what I always have my guys do, you get your little swivel head, stick it all the way in there, rinse all that dirt out that you just took off of that condenser coil, because if you don't, as soon as this water dries, and that dirt's gonna dry, it's immediately gonna get sucked right back into that condenser coil. Same kind of principle with the rooftop itself. We just finished washing the coil. All the dirt is run around the roof. I always have my guys just go ahead and rinse off the area around the condenser, because as soon as it dries, all that dirt's gonna go right back onto that condenser coil. So I always have the guys at least rinse off around the condenser. The wand is really great for that because I don't have to bend over. I'm short, but I still don't like to bend over. I got back problems.